Only one is required to use that. Otherwise, throw it. This is the way. This is the way, We have to organize and we have to plan our life. Retired life or anything for that matter. We have to plan our life. A man with a plan makes 1,000 mistakes. A man without a plan makes a man with a plan makes 1,000 mistakes. A man without a plan makes 1,00,000 mistakes, which is better. And it will be very difficult to reverse those mistakes because we have very little span of time in this world. So Krishna is scheduling and Brahma is able to predict and give this. So on this particular pastime, especially our Maharaj used to say, some verses are there, especially Krishna's pastimes. This Krishna's pastimes, if you read, our Maharaj says, especially recitation of the verse will reduce the BP. If you have BP, then you should recite this verse every day. Please try to recite this verse. Even if it is wrongly recited, doesn't matter. If you recite these verses, your BP will come down. That is the percentage of these mantras. So we should understand. Don't ignore the Sanskrit. Sanskrit is very important. And that's why Prabhupada made very, very meticulous. He knows that people will ignore the Sanskrit. And that's why he put what he put. He put word-to-word meaning, translation, and then English, Sanskrit transliteration. So he put read on. So people may not be able to read the Devangiri script. Devangiri script of Sanskrit, they may not be able to read. So he made it as Indian English, so that for the English-speaking people, he does that. So meticulously, how much he would have put his head to do this. And that's why if you see in the pages of the Bagavadham, last pages, he has given how to decide, how to pronounce the names. He has given all the tricks. Prabhupada has put blood and sweat, and we don't have time to read those verses. Please, I beg all of you, please read those verses and try to chant these verses. Okay. So this chapter is entitled Schedule Incarnation. All the incarnation is talking. Now he's going to explain about Krishna's incarnation. When he talked about Krishna, he became ecstatic and he started explaining about almost all the pastimes. Some pastimes are missed, most of the pastimes. So now we come to this particular pastime, and this pastime, this particular word refers to killing of Sankachuda devil. So that's what this pastime is. So this comes in the 10th canto, 34th chapter. So he was able to predict. So we will recite the verse, translation and purport, and then we will try to discuss. Okay. Kridan Mane Nishakara Rashmi Gauriyam Rason Mukha Kalapadaya Tamuchitena Uddipta Smararujam Rajabrat Nudunam Hartur Arishyati Siro Danadanugasya Kridan Mane Nishakara Rashmi Gauryam Rason Mukha Kalapadaya Tamuchitena Uddipta Smara Rujam Brajabrat Prudhunam Hartur Arishyati Shiro Dinadana Gasya Beautiful. Kridan, while engaged in his pastimes. Mane in the forest of Vrindavana. Nishi, nocturnal. Nishakara, the moon. Rasmi Gauryam, white moon sunshine. Rasa Udmukaha, desiring to dance with. Kala Padayata, attend with the sweet songs. Muchitena, and melodious music. Uddipta, awakened. Smara Rujam, sexual desires. Vrajabrat, the inhabitants of Vrajabhumi. Vadunam, of the wives. Artu, of the kidnappers. Arishyati, will vanquish. Shiraha, the head. Danadanu Gasya, of the followers of rich Kuvera. When the Lord engaged in his pastimes of the Rasa dance in the forest of Vrindavana, ending the sexual desires of the wives of the inhabitants of Vrindavana by sweet, melodious songs, a demon named Sankachuda, a rich follower of treasure heaven, kidnapped the damsels, and the Lord severed his head from the trunk. You should carefully note purport. Please hear. Here, the statements described herein are the statements of Brahmaji to Narada, and he was speaking to Narada of events that would happen in the future during the advent of Lord Krishna. The pastimes of the Lord are known to the experts, who are able to see the past, present, and future. And Brahmaji, being one of them, foretold what will happen in the future. The killing of Sankachuda by the Lord is a more recent incident after the Ras Leela, not exactly like the simultaneous affair. The previous years we have also seen Lord's engagement in the affairs of the forest fair described along with the pastimes of punishing Kali's snake. And similarly, the pastimes of the Rasa dance and killing of Sankachuda also described here. The adjustment is that all these incidents will take place in the future and after the time when it is being foretold by Brahmaji to Narada. The demon Sankachuda was killed by the Lord during his pastime at Horika in the month of Palguna The same ceremony is still observed in India during the burning of the effigy of Sankajuda, one day prayer to the last pastimes of Harika, generally known as Holi. Generally, the future appearance and activities of the Lord or his incarnation are foretold in scriptures, and thus the pseudo-incarnations are unable to cheat the persons who are in knowledge of the events as they are described in authoritative scriptures. Srila Prabhupada, Transcendental Purport ki jai. So, first thing Prabhupada writes in the purport, we'll discuss, that's very important for us. Lord Brahma is a Dirghadarshi. Why he became, how he became a Dirghadarshi is very important. See, it is mentioned in 3rd canto, 19th chapter, 1st verse. Nirvalika Amrutam. Nirvalika means without any deceptive motive. We should not any deception going towards Krishna. That means I come here. That means we have to do transcendental loving devotional service. I am chanting Krishna's name. Let me have my job. I am chanting Krishna's name. My father's health should be okay. Let me, I'm chanting the holy names. I should get a good job. Let me, I'm chanting the holy name. Let me pass the exam. These type of mentality means we are deceptive. Deceptive means हम धोखा दे रहे हैं कृष्ण. धोखा मत देना कृष्ण. It's very important. धोखा देना है कृष्णा तो बड़ा धोखा देगा. जिंदगी भर याद रखेंगे. हम जिंदगी भर याद रखेंगे. हम तो बहुत पछता पाएंगे. You know, these Hindi films they see, you know, पछता पाएंगे. You will suffer, you know, they will say. So these villains will say the same way we will suffer. So that's why धोखा मत डालो. Deception means धोखा. Therefore, we should cheat Krishna. If you cheat Krishna, Krishna is a very big transcendental cheat, and you will suffer for the lifetime. So we have to be very careful. Don't cheat Krishna. So whatever little you are doing service without any deceptive motive, Krishna will take care. But we have to do our material endeavors nicely. We perform, and then we take the blessings and mercy of Krishna, and we pray for his mercy. That is definite. Doesn't mean that we should be deceptive. So it's very important. Lord Brahma, he took tapas. He was sitting on the flower, on the lotus flower, and then he was looking around, and then everything was dark. The waves, there were choppy waves, which was putting a hit. He went through the stem, went to the top of the stem, bottom of the stem, and he couldn't find out the source of his appearance. And he was sitting, and then he heard the word ta and papa. Tapa, tapa means tapa. Then he started doing tapas, and he was not having any association. He was alone. We have so much association. We have devotees. We have so much. We have kirtans. We have rathayatras. We have association of saintly persons. Prashadam. So many things are there. But Brahma didn't have anything. But he heard the word tapas and he did it. So our chanting of the holy names, we should try to do on our own. If you can chant with the devotees, very highly advanced devotees, very good. Otherwise, we should be able to chant alone. Because ultimately, we have to do bhakti alone. We are alone, actually. Our Maharaj says, we breathe alone. We eat alone. We digest alone. Everything we do alone. Correct? We are not. Suppose my mother was suffering from last week, suffering from. I can only pity her, but I cannot suffer her. Her suffering, I cannot endure. Correct? Because I cannot feel it. That's the nature. So I may become angry. I may shout at her. It's possible. So I did it also because she was irritating. But our suffering, she only knows. So that's why nobody knows except Krishna. Whatever our pains which we are going through, except Krishna, nobody knows. So we are all alone. And Brahma was alone. And then he was, without any deceptive motive, he prayed to Krishna. And Krishna came. And Krishna says, penance and me are non-different. And therefore you have satisfied me. And then he handshake with Krishna, Brahma. And then he gave him. And then the same thing happened in Bagavadham, 3rd canto, 19th chapter. Brahma was telling, Hiranyaksha is becoming very powerful. It is becoming the night. Kill this person. The moment he heard from Brahma, he said, Nirvalika Amrutam. Your words are like Amrita. Krishna is telling to Brahma. And that's why Brahma was given all the costless mercy on him. And because of the costless mercy, okay, only 2 minor mistakes he made. One is run after his Saraswati Mata, and then he did hide the cows. That's all. Otherwise, he didn't do anything. That pastime is also Krishna's. Otherwise, he didn't deviate away from Krishna at all. And Krishna wanted the pastime to happen. That's why he put Brahma Mohan Leela. So otherwise, Brahma is also a living entity, correct? So otherwise, he will become Krishna. So Krishna doesn't want it. So that's why he made him to run after Saraswati and also hide the calves and cow. So it is very important for us to understand that he was doing deceptive without any deceptive motive. Nirbalika. Balika means deceptive. Please don't cheat devotees. Don't cheat other living entities. Okay, cheating is the biggest business going on here. By cheating, we can accumulate money, but we cannot accumulate peace and happiness. And Krishna is the biggest cheater. He will come in the form of disease. He will come in the form of death. And then you will suffer all the consequences. Therefore, let us live a honest life. This is very important. Cheating means we should not only cheat Krishna, we should not cheat anybody else also. We should avoid. But as a marketing man, Prabhuji, can I tell truth? Then I'll be in trouble. Actually, my Guru Maharaj's father was a cloth merchant. You know, he was such an honest merchant. You won't believe it. Actually, in that village, somewhere in Nasik or somewhere in Gujarat, what he used to do, there are so many shops, cloth shops, saris, shirts, everything. What he used to do is, he used to buy the items and then he will tell, I have purchased for 50 rupees, 10 rupees this month. You give me whatever you want to give. That person will give 9 rupees. Sometimes he will give 12 rupees, but you won't believe it. He was having such a big market sales that his profit was enough to maintain the family. His family was about 10, 12 people. Krishna made arrangement. He was so honest. I purchased for 10 rupees. You give me whatever extra money you want to give, you give. You don't have money? Okay, you give me 8 rupees. That's okay. So, such is honesty, you know. Now, we cannot expect that. But that is the highest level of honesty. And that is with the doka nahi de rahe. So, here, that we cannot do. In marketing, we may have to tell lies to survive in the market. That's what, like politicians who are telling so much of lies. So, it's not possible. So, but we try to avoid the cheating the minimum level. That's what we should do. And this way, we can progress nicely in the devotion service. It is very important. Sometimes, in the office, if you do, you will be in trouble also. You cannot tell, no, this you cannot, no, we cannot tell. We have to see. But in personal lives, at least we should not cheat. In office, we cannot avoid. There are so many problems out there. But in personal life, at least we should not cheat anybody. We should not cheat your wife. Now the children, now the girls and boys, they have already an extramarital relationship, and then they get married, and then they continue to have the relationship. This is cheating. Please don't do that. You're all young people. Please be conscious to yourself. That is very important for us. It's very, very important not to cheat. Husband should not cheat the wife. Wife should not cheat the husband. It's very important for us. In fact, we were looking alliance for my son. And the girls tell that we were in India, we were not drinking. Brahmin girls, South Indian Brahmin. When I go to America, I drink. At least my son, we became very angry with the girl. My son said, at least she is telling the truth. Suppose she doesn't tell the truth, I marry her. And then what will happen? My life will be hell. Every day she will be drinking. So how I will deal with her? It will be hell for me. So she is telling the truth. She is not cheating me. That way I am happy with her. My son says. So at least some honesty is there. But almost it is truth is almost, in one like 4 legs of dharma. Truth is very, very little. 90% false one. So this is what is happening. But Brahma was fully in absolute, without any deceptive motive, he was doing. And therefore, he was able to tell about the future pastimes. Sankachuda's pastime. You can go into Sankachuda also. Can you imagine? You can go to Rasa Leela because it's without any deception he did the devotional service. And therefore, it is very important for us to understand the Bhagavatam should be read meticulously, the Bhagavad Gita, and we have to chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. If we do attentive chanting, attentive hearing of Bhagavatam, Krishna Katha, it is very important. We become negligent in Krishna Katha. We become negligent in Bhagavatam. We become negligent and we run to Chaitanya Charitamrita. We go into other things. But Prabhupada said Mangalarti, Bhagavatam, evening Bhagavad Gita. So this you should not jump. Because Chaitanya Charitamrita is the topmost. It is like PhD. It is talking about love of Godhead. Love of Godhead, we don't understand that. We don't have that love for Krishna. Okay? We don't understand that pastime. We discuss about the love of Krishna, how the gopis behave. So the love of Krishna is the topmost there. So that we don't understand from Chaitanya Charitamrita. In order to understand love for Krishna, we have to detach ourselves from the material things. And in order to detach ourselves from the material things, we have to study Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a Vairagya Vidya. Bhagavad Gita is the small dose, initial dose. But the strong dose is coming from Bhagavatam. You touch any part of the Bhagavatam, it will teach you. You read 3rd canto, 30th chapter. It talks about how the old people should leave the house and do devotion service. Very strong. They called old people are called as pet dogs. Bhagavatam condemns that. So strong, gives so much of strong statement that you cannot digest. Why? Because they want to create vairagya. So unless we create vairagya vidya, detached from material life, we cannot attach to Krishna. Param drishtva nivartate. So we want to attach to the superior things, then we have to get detached. For example, if you give chocolate to the small girl and then you give a teddy bear, then teddy bear will be loved, chocolate will be thrown because it's a lower taste. The same way, we have to give the higher taste. So in order to get the higher taste, we have to study Bhagavatam. Don't ignore Bhagavatam. If you ignore Bhagavatam, you are ignoring Krishna. Because Krishna Pratyaksha Krishna Evahi. Please don't feel, just read it. Even if you don't understand, please read it. Translation, purport again and again. Krishna will reveal. Because he is there, no? He is Sarva Sacham, he will ready. Then Tasto Abhidhani, Vidunodi Sukutam. He will clear all the material dirt and he will reveal himself. And that's what happened for Brahma. Brahma did the tapas. Brahma did the devotion service wonderfully. And therefore, all the pastimes are manifested. We want to chant for one. We are like we are completely, I'm sorry to say, but I'm not talking about you. I'm a rotten lemon. See, we want to offer Krishna irregular chanting, irregular reading, no deceptive attention, deceptive motive. We go to Krishna. We have so much of contamination. And then we go and we offer. One of the devotees used to share with me, Narari Prabhu, our god brother. We give a rotten lemon. Lemon is rotten. Okay, lemon is good, it will give juice. Rotten lemon, what it will do? You give an offer it to Krishna in the form of chanting, in the form of reading Bhagavatam. And then what we expect? Krishna, give me the moon, give me the moon. We give a rotten lemon and we want the moon. How Krishna will give you? What is this transaction? Okay, this is cheating, doka. So deception. So please don't do that. So that's why we have to attentively chant. So, and that's why we can become honest. And without any attention, we do the chanting and the reading of Bhagavatam, we may not be able to progress an inch in the devotion service. It's very important, Prabhujis and Matajis. I beg to all of you, please read Bhagavatam. Don't ignore Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a must because that will give you Vairagya Vidya. You touch any chapter, it will give you Vairagya Vidya. And detachment should be there. Unless we have the detachment, we cannot get the attachment to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. And you cannot understand the loving of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in ecstasy after seeing the Jagannath. Do you have the feeling? When you feel Jagannath, we want to dance like that? No, we don't have that feeling because we don't have that love. And in order to get the love, we have to get detached from material things. And it's so important for us. Please, Prabhujis and Matajis, contemplate on this. So, Brahma was empowered to predict about. And best prediction is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In 1861, in Sajjan Doshini, somewhere in October or somewhere, he wrote, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote that when will the Germans, when will the Russians, when will the Italians, when will the Europeans will chant the holy name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He wrote in 1861 and it became true in 1971. So within 110 years, the prediction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur has come as a truth. Sajjana Toshani, he has written this. He says, when it will happen? That means he is able to predict it is going to happen. So this is the mood of the Acharyas. Because they have done the tapas without any deceptive motive. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a district magistrate. He was handling so many cases. He was complete control of the Orissa state. He was such a position in Puri. All the kings, everyone will obey him. Even the English people, they used to obey him. Because he was such a powerful personality. They were afraid of him to come near him. The English people who were ruling the country, they were afraid of him to approach him. So powerful he was. So that was the potency of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was able to predict. And that prediction has come true. So that's what we can see, that how these things will happen. And in fact, the 12th canto of Bhagavatam, how the people of Kali Yuga will be there. Money will be the criteria. No, money, without money, we are considered useless. A beggar is not considered at all. Whatever the knowledge, sannyasi without any money is considered useless. So that's how these people estimate us, because based on the money, and if you have a business body or a Bentley car, then you are considered as a human being. Otherwise, you are animal. So if you have a Honda scooter, 125, 1 lakh only, you are useless. You should have 20 crores, 30 crores. So that's why they value. So this is what Bhagavatam predicted and is become. So this is very important. And here, you see, Brahma is able to predict the past, present, and future. Prabhupada writes in the purport. So he was able to predict. And therefore, he is fearless. So this will give you abhayam also. So if you do non-deceptive devotion service, Nirvaya then you will become fearless. Abhayam Shatva Shuddhuti. You will become fearless. And then Brahma is not fearful. Whereas we are all fearful. What is going to happen tomorrow? What is going to be the next problem we are going to come? We are always in anxiety. Because we are not doing non-deceptive penance. We are deceptive. Doka Tera Krishna. And that's why our devotion service, we are always fearful. A person who is doing non-deceptive penance, Doka nahi de rahe Krishna ko, definitely his bhakti will progress and he will become fearless. We are fearful. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? We are always fearful. We are frightful. So Brahma was able to generate so much of potency. And by the potency, you can see that he puts a drop of water on Hiranyakashipu, who was like a bones, and he was eaten by ants. His whole body became effulgent, and the body touched the sky. It was touching the Devaloka. So powerful. His helmet was touching the Devaloka. So powerful, just by dropping some mantra and putting water on Hiranyakashipu after his penance. So he becomes so powerful, unstoppable. Only Krishna has come to us. He was unstoppable for 3 plant resistance. So powerful was Hiranyakashipu. That is because this Hiranyakashipu meditated on Brahma, and Brahma has the potency to give him the benediction. So empowered Brahma. Brahma is not an ordinary living entity. So this is very important for us to understand. Now, our attention is not to become a Dirghadashi. We need not become that. That's not our goal. See, Dirghadashi means what is going to happen in the future. In fact, Vasudev was able to predict what is going to happen in the future. So, Kalau Drashta means this. It is going to Bhautikanam Chabhavana. Everybody will be on the material angle of vision. Bhautikanam Chabhavana. And that's why he wrote Bagavadham. Because in the Kali Yuga, people will all be material angle of vision. Nobody looks in the spiritual angle. And that's the problem with the people. And they suffer so much. And therefore, Vyasadeva was able to predict. And then he wrote the Bhagavatam. He wrote the Bhagavatam. So this is very important. And also Prabhupada writes the purport. There are so many pseudo incarnations. This Baba, that Baba, that was one Baba. He's called Shivashankar Baba. He was saying that he's Mahavishnu. And then Yagwa Muni was there in South India, in Tamil Nadu. He was killing that he's Brahma. He is Brahma, he is Kalki, So Brahma and Vishnu are fighting. They were fighting with stones, pepper and all. They were fighting in the argument. And both of them are complete nonsense. They are claiming because their incarnations are not mentioned in the pages of the Bhagavatam. It is not in the scriptures. So these are not scheduled incarnation. They are all bogus sannyasis, bogus incarnation. And therefore, we should not run after this bogus incarnation. We should go into the pure devotion service. And that's what is very important for us. Because this Shirdi Sai Baba is a very powerful person. But they call him as God. But no, he's like a saintly person. He's the really empowered incarnation of the Lord. He's Shakti Avesha. We don't know about his avatar, but he is empowered by God, definitely. Just like Ramanuja, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada also Shakti Avesha avatar. But we don't know about Sai Baba, Shirdi Sai Baba. So they are empowered with some powers, that's all. So that's what we have to see. Okay. Now we'll go to the next. So here, this is the background of Brahma. So this is what we have to understand. We should do our devotion service nicely, without any deceptive motive, and we should not expect the mood from Krishna. Whatever little devotion service, we should do it sincerely and honestly, and Krishna will reciprocate in the form of mercy, in the form of bhakti, in the form of association, in the form of reading Bhagavatam, in the form of realization of the Bhagavatam, in the form of realization of Krishna's pastimes. So Krishna will hear. Now you will go into the verse. This verse talks about 10th canto, 34th chapter. It's a summary of the 10th canto, 34th chapter. So what has happened after the killing of, I think, Sudarshana, and after the Kaliya snake, everything was done, and everything was done. 10:31. After the Rasa Leela is over, so after the Rasa Leela, 10th canto, 31 chapter, 32 chapter, it talks about Rasa Leela and all. 33rd chapter about Rasa Leela. So everything was over. Then afterwards they were continuing. So what has happened? The cowherd boys, Balrama and Krishna, they were all having nice pastimes with the gopis, and that's what Prabhupada wrote, in this verse. It's a very sensitive topic, and I'm not qualified to talk about it because I'm still in the bodily conception of life. I'm not qualified to speak, and that's why Prabhupada never spoke about Rasa Leela pastimes. There are so many gurus in India and North India. They speak about Rasa Leela pastimes without understanding what is the potency of Lord. And that's why first canto to ninth canto, we have to study to understand the potency of Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And we understand the relationship between the super soul and soul. That's all. There is no good enough material contamination. Material, we have to understand this fact. And it's a very high concept. I don't want to go into the details because I'm not qualified. But how the gopis, just like Brahma was doing non-deceptive penance, these people having non-deceptive bhakti. Who? The gopis. How the gopis pray is beautiful. When Krishna is separated, Krishna disappeared from their from before the pastime, Rasalila, they are singing this song. Very beautiful song. 10th canto, 31st chapter, 15th verse. Whenever time permits, you read this. What is the mood of the gopis? Gopis praying like this. Atati Bhava Krishna Agnikananam Trudi Gayate Krishna Twama Pashyatam Kutila Kuntalam Krishna Srimukam Chate Jadau Dikshadam Krishna Pashmagridrisham. Actually, Krishna is not there. In the verse, this Krishna is not there. This is the tune for reciting the Gopika Gita. All the verses are like this. Adatiyad Bhavan Krishna. Krishna is not there. But actually, one devotee, she is not in our ISKCON Sampradaya. And but however, she has included this. I think there were a lot of Sampradaya in South India. They included that. And then we recited this verse in front of our Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj said, yes, you can add Krishna. It is beautiful because it is fitting. Actually, it should be Adatiyad Bhavan Agnikananam Tuduyagayate Twama Pashyatam Utila Kuntalam Srimugam Chate Jadau Dikshatam Pashmagridrisham. Krishna is not there in us. But Maharaj said, you please include. That's really wonderful. So this is the Gopika Gita. And my wife has sung the entire Gopika Gita. You know, it's a beautiful verse. It's about 19 verses only. The last verse is the Brahma Samhita lyric. All other lyrics are unique. So this verse is very important. How they feel the separation. Atatiyad Bhavan Krishna, Krishna, morning, what do you do? Agnikananam. You go to the forest in the morning. The gopis are telling, you go to the forest in the morning with the cowherd boys, cows, and everything you go. Okay. Agnikananam. You are going to the Kana. You are going to the forest, my dear. The moment Twama Pashyata, Apashyatam, we are not able to see you. Pashyata means free. Apashyata, we are not able to see you. Because the gopi says we are missing your association. We are not able to have your darshan. Truti Yugayate. Truti means 1/1,000,000th of a second. So we cannot imagine Truti Yugayate. The separation, one Truti is like one yuga for us. One yuga means 4,32,000 years. That kind of separation we are feeling. See how much hankering they are having. Utila Kuntalam Krishna Shimukam Chate. Your curling hair is very attractive, you know, and your face is being covered by this Kutila Kuntalam. But this, see, now the eyebrows are there. We are looking at you. Jadaudik Shatam Pakshma. The Pakshma means see. This Jada, no? They are telling so much they got power. They said Brahma is a Jada. He doesn't have, he's a foolish person. Jada means foolish. He doesn't have brain. That he has kept the eyelids. So what is happening? The eyelids are closing and then opening. So that time we are not able to see you. So I want eyelids to be like this. Why he made like this? So it's very bad on Krishna. He's a wrong manufacturer by Lord Brahma. Brahma is foolish manufacturer of my eye. Because my eye only want to see Krishna. Nothing else I want to see. I want to have a darshan continuously without the blinking of the eye. I don't want this blinking. Why this foolish Brahma has done like this? He's criticizing. So this is the feeling of separation, hankering off for Krishna. So the moment these verses, lot of verses are 19 verses. I don't want to go into this. It says beautiful verses are there. Dedikam Krishna Janmana Vraja Shayata Indira Krishna Shashvadatrayi Daitadishyadam Krishna Dichutabaka Tvaitadasava Krishna Twami Chinmate. So let us not go into that. So when they earnestly and hankering, when the honest soul, when the hankering soul really shouts at the Lord, and then what happens? Krishna comes. And then what has happened? It is mentioned in the Bagavadham. It is 10th canto, 32nd chapter, first verse. Sugovacha iti gopya pragayantaha. Pragayantaha means singing. They are singing the Gopika Gita. Pralapyantas, speaking with forth. And then Chitrada in various charming ways. They want to attract Krishna some or other. Rurudam, they are crying for Krishna. Are we crying when chanting the holy names for Krishna? No. We are very happy. What we are happy? The moment we chant the 16 rounds, we don't want to see the chanting beats tomorrow. Tomorrow, thank you very much, my dear Krishna. Chant you chanting back. Thank you very much. I don't want to see your face today. Tomorrow I'll have a darshan. We don't have the lalasa. Rududum, Suswaram, Rajan. They are singing in various ways. Loudly, Suswaram. They are loudly chanting the holy names. Rududum, they are crying for Krishna. Krishna Darshana Lalasa. So our Krishna Darshan, we should have that angle. And that is the mood of the gopis. And that's why Krishna did the pastimes with them. Do we have that love? We don't have that love. And that's why Gopi Pipati, Bhakti. Gopi Pipati means the gopis were drinking Bhakti from Krishna. So that is the mood of the gopis. So that's why he was able to do the pastimes. So what is happening? This pastime was happening. They were all enjoying. So at the time what happened? There is a demon called Sankachuda. This Sankachuda, it is mentioned nicely. I will tell the story also. The Sankachuda is a very close associate of Kamsa. Both were powerful demons and both were friends. What has happened? One time, actually, Sankachuda is a follower of Yakshas, means Kuvera. He belonged to the Kuvera family, but he was a powerful demon. Yakshas are also some demons. Some Yakshas are demons. And therefore, he was very intoxicated with pride, ego, and everything. And he was very powerful and very lusty. Because just like Nalakuvera and Manigreva, he was having a lot of enjoyment. So he is having the lusty desires towards women. He is having too much lusty desires. So what is that? He was a friend of Kamsa. One time, what happened? Kamsa and Sankachuda, Sankachuda was in the spiritual world, in his Yaksha Loka, in the upper planetary system. At the time, Nardamani comes. And then he says, I want to fight. Yaksha says, no. Nardamani says, there is nobody who can fight with you. In these Yakshas, they are not food. But there is a demon called Kamsa. He is a very powerful demon. You can fight with him. So he goes down and he fights. He fights with Kamsa. Kamsa becomes very powerful. And both of them fight with each other. And finally, they could not defeat. Because Kamsa was throwing Sankachuda 800 miles. And this fellow was sending him 8,000 miles. So like that, they are putting high, but nothing could be done. And then Gargamuni came and said that please, both of you are equal warriors, and therefore there is no problem. And Kamsa only person he fought and he had a neutral thing is only with Sankachuda. Sankachuda was so powerful demon. In other demons, what do you do? Like Arishtasura, then Keshi and Pralambasura, all these people, he fought with them and he will not kill them. He will spare them. And then what he will do? You become an assistant, you become a service. You become a slave to mind. So they become slaves. These demons, because of the afraid of death, they become slaves of Kamsa. Kamsa was so powerful. So Sankachuda and all. So one day what happened? Sankachuda decided to come to Vrindavan and don't want to have a discussion with Kamsa, his friend. He came. When he came, when he entered Vrindavan, he saw all these gopis. They were all playing with Krishna and Balram. These two, Krishna and Balram, 9-year-old people. They are not 16. And he saw so many girls are playing with this. So because his lusty desires are there, he says, how come these girls can play with Krishna and Rama? These people are insecure. They don't know. He doesn't know the value of Krishna and Balram. They thought he is a ordinary cowherd boy. This cowherd boy are enjoying the girls. So I should enjoy the girls. So this is how he became envious. And this envy is the most dangerous thing in the devotional service. We have to understand this. So most dangerous thing, envy is the best mentality we possess. Maharaj says we cannot tolerate the flourishing condition of the others. Suppose somebody has an Audi car, A3, Q3, we become envious. Somebody buys a better car, somebody has a better jobs, we become envious. So we become envious. I saw one of my friends having Mercedes Benz. I said, oh, he's having, I don't have. So we become envious. We are devotees, but still we are envious. Oh, a material karmi, he's not chanting Krishna's name, but Krishna has given him Mercedes-Benz. I'm chanting it 20 years. Why Krishna has not given me one car also? What is his problem? So we blame Krishna. I am only a chota car. He's having a big Mercedes-Benz car. I cannot afford that car. So this type of envy, so the envy is the best mentality we possess. Constitutionally, we are envious. And we cannot tolerate the flourishing conditions. Bagavadham says, 4:6:47 says, we cannot tolerate the flourishing condition of others. We cannot tolerate it. So we always want to belittle somebody, and that's what we do. And that's what now Sankachuda wants to belittle Krishna and Balram, and he wants to become powerful. So he is trying all the tricks. So what he decided, okay, I will interfere in this. So what he does, he says very nicely. So he comes and picks up all the gopis and started running. He started running, he knows. So he started walking. That Krishna and Balram came to know that this fellow is picking up the gopis. Then Krishna became angry. He took a sala tree, Bagavadham tells. And then these gopis were chanting, "Oh Krishna, Krishna, please protect, please protect." He took a sala tree and tried to run after Sankachuda, because Sankachuda was carrying all the girls. So imagine Balrama also was, both of them were running. So the moment we saw Krishna and Rama, please protect, they were shouting. And then immediately Krishna responded very nicely. 10th canto, 34th chapter, 28th verse. Beautiful. Ma beshti apyaravo sala hastau tarasvinau ashedastam tarasa tvaritam mukyaratmanam 10:34:28. It's a very important verse, because this verse is very important for our devotional service. See here, what is the mood of Krishna? He says, Ma. Ma means, na means no. Ma means double no. No, 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 no. This is the mood of Krishna. No, 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 no. Do not fear. Do not fear. He's not saying do not fear. Beshti means fear. Do not fear. Do not fear. See? Ma Beshti. Abhaya. Abhaya means I will give you fearlessness. Do not fear. Ma Beshta. Do not fear. Do not fear. Double no. Actually, they are putting only one. They should put two. The Ma means double no. No, 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 no. So triple no. So Ma Beshta. Do not fear. Do not fear. Abhaya. I will give you fearlessness. So this is the mood of Krishna. Krishna, because the fear is there in the gopis that Sankachuda is carrying them, immediately he gave assurance. And this is very important point we have to do. In the devotional service, people are suffering. Okay. And then what we do? Prabhu, if you don't chant Krishna's name, you are useless. If you don't chant this, you are useless. If you don't chant, do this, you are useless. We criticize the people. And they become fearful. Oh, Prabhuji, ye paap ho jayega, ye paap ho jayega, wo paap ho jayega, ye paap ho jayega. Paap, 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 paap. We are just creating fear, the devotees. Please don't create fear. Already people are suffering in this material. So when we come to Krishna consciousness, give them. Krishna will give you this. He will give you fearlessness. So you have to purify your consciousness. Then Krishna will give you fearlessness. Like that, Krishna will give you the mercy to become fearless. This is how Krishna will give. This is how we should encourage. Because we should not discourage the people. Oh, you are eating mutton chicken kare, aapko to narak mein jayega. Then they will not have to come to Krishna. Why we have to create fear? The people. Please do not create fear. Okay? Only one fear we should create. Vaishnava Aparadha. Please don't do Vaishnava Aparadha. That we can say. Because that is very dangerous for their life. Otherwise, other things don't create too much. Let them come. Let them chant the holy names of Krishna. And then they will purify eventually. We have to be tolerant. One devotee is there. He was chanting for 6 years one round. I was just tolerating. And everybody says, please throw him out. I said, I will tolerate. Now, he's 2 times he has read Bhagavatam. He has written Chaitanya Charitamrita. He has read Bhagavad Gita. And he is every day 5:30 Mangalarti he does. Not even a single Mangalarti he missed. Even if he sleeps at 2 o'clock in the night, he will wake up at 4:30 and come for Mangalarti 5:30 in the morning. And he has read Bhagavatam twice. Can you imagine? How much dedication, complete transformation. So we have to tolerate Prabhuji's Mataji's. We have to tolerate. Therefore, it's very important. Do not instill fear. Okay? Ye kar do, aisa aparad ho, ye aparad ho jaye, ye aparad, 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 aparad. So much aparad we are putting. Anyway, we have to tell about the 10 offenses and all. But the biggest offense is Vaishnava Aparadha. That's the only thing we have to do. To blaspheme the devotees who are dedicated. That is the biggest offense. That is like a mad elephant offense. So that will destroy the creeper of bhakti. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. So that is the only thing. Otherwise, don't create fear. Please do not create fear. Ma Beshti. So you see how he says. And the same thing happened in other pages of the Bhagavatam. Anybody remembers? Anybody knows? The same thing, Ma Beshta. The same word is used in the Bhagavatam. You know, anybody knows? It is 7th canto, 4th chapter, 25-26. So what has happened? 7-4-25-26. It is together, huh? Don't put 7-4-25. 7-4-25-26. Here, what has happened? The Hiranyakashipu was terrorizing the entire universe. And then what is happening? He was stopping all the Brahminical sacrifices. He was killing the Brahminical culture. He was completely stopping everything. And then all the people, even Brahma was afraid. So he was given the benediction, but he could not kill him. He doesn't have the power to kill him. So all of them goes to Krishna. And then they pray to Krishna. And then immediately he says, Ma Beshta Vibhuda Shreshtaha Sarvesham Badram Astuha. See how Krishna is speaking to all the demigods and Lord Brahma also. Ma Beshta. Please do not fear. Vibhuda Shreshtaha. You are all very intelligent. Buddha means intelligent. Vibhuda means super intelligent. Shreshtaha, best among the intelligent. Sarvesham Badrama. Everything in the auspicious will happen. Mad Darshanami Bhutan. You will have your darshan. Sarva Sheyo. Everything good will happen. You know. So don't worry about it. I will kill. And then Kalam Tavat. Please wait for it. So Krishna gives assurance to all the demigods who are afraid of Hiranyakashipu, who is terrorizing the entire universe in the 7th canto. So this is how we should encourage. And see how Krishna is telling. Okay? This we saw in the Bhagavatam. What about Bhagavad Gita? So Bhagavad Gita, so Krishna says, Arjuna says in 6:37 of Bhagavad Gita, Ayatri Saddhaya Upeto, Yogo Chalita Manasaha, Aprapya Yoga Samsitim, Kam Gatim Krishna Gachati. So Arjuna was worried that how come people can Ayati Saddhaya Upeto. So Yogo Chalita Manasaha. Suppose somebody comes to the devotional service and they leave. What will happen to the yogis who are doing the Ashtanga Yoga, who are doing the 6-step, the 8 types of Ashtanga Yoga they are doing? What will happen to them? Ayati means they would know that's not perfect. Shraddha, with faith and devotion they are doing. Please, tell me, engage in that. Yoga Chalita Manasa. They are deviated. What will happen to them? Kam Gatimi, what will happen to them? And then Krishna replies in 6:40 very nicely. He says, Varta Neiva Ye. Never, not in this life, not in this another life. They will never get Durgatim Tata Gajati. Nahi Kalyana Kaschit. Nahi Kalyana Kaschit, Durgati. They will never get Durgati. Can you imagine? Nahi Kalyana Kaschit. Vinasa Tasya Vidat. Vinasa, they will not be destroyed at all. Partha Naiva here. In this lifetime, the next lifetime. So whatever devotion service we are doing, Tata Gachati. Tata is a very beautiful word. See how Krishna is saying. So what we have to do is, when people are in fear, people are in trouble, people are suffering, suppose somebody is dead, we should encourage them. Oh, Prabhuji, you are not the body. You are a soul. Your father has left the body. It is okay. No, they are suffering. They are in the bodily concept of life. You cannot tell Bhagavad Gita to them. Krishna never said Abhimanyu was killed by the Chakravyuga. And then Krishna never said, oh, I told Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, fool, why are you crying for your son? No, he cried. Krishna cried along with him. Because he was feeling sorry that Abhimanyu is dead. He knows, Krishna knows Abhimanyu is going to die. But he was pacifying. Next day we have to fight, and he pacified. He never said, no, I will tell you Bhagavad Gita, you have to follow Bhagavad Gita. No, he didn't say like that. So this is the mood. Tata. Here Krishna, he says, Tata कौन है? Oh बच्चों, प्यार से बोल रहे हैं, प्यार से. छोटू, फिकर मत करो, फिकर ना करो. This is what, फिकर ना मत करो, फिकर ना करो, फिकर ना करो. This is how we should encourage. Oh छोटू, कैसा है? So this is how we should encourage the living entities. Encouragement is Krishna consciousness. Instead of discouraging the devotees, we have to encourage. Tata Gachati. So here Krishna wants to assure the gopis, Ma Beshtite. Don't worry, Abhayam, I will give you fearlessness. This is the mood of Krishna. And therefore, it is very important as devotees, we should encourage the living entities. Give them assurance. You see, Tata Gachati. Durgatim Tata Gachati. Definitely they will not Durgati. Nahi Kalyanam. At any point of time, they will not do. So who are coming into the Krishna consciousness, all the people, never We will go into hell. We may have made a mistake, some aparats, we have to suffer. But eventually, all of us who has come to Krishna consciousness will go back to Krishna. We will not suffer for millions of lifetimes. Our so many births are getting, births and deaths are getting deleted. Just like we delete the files, excess files in our mobile, it is getting deleted by Krishna. Every time you attend the Bagavadham, every time you take the chanting meal, every time you do the devotional service, every time you do service in the temple, all these are deleting our births and deaths. So many millions of births we are supposed to take, it is getting deleted. And what happens? Suppose you take Vaishnava Aparat, then it increases. Don't do Vaishnava Aparat. That is the only fear we have to be there. Don't do Vaishnava Aparat. Please, Prabhuji's mother. It's very important. Very, very important. Please encourage the living in it. Tata Gachin. Tata means so lovingly Krishna is there. Can you imagine how much it is the battlefield? Kurukshetra battle. It's a grim battle. It's a very serious situation. Now he is lovingly telling. Can you imagine? Oh. The same Krishna in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is this? Ooh, you are claiming. You are impotent rascal. You are impotent rascal, da. You are impotent rascal. Why you are not fighting this battle? Like that he criticized. That time is okay. Now he is giving assurance. So he knows where to criticize, where to do that. And we don't have the right to criticize anybody. And therefore we don't have to chastise anybody. We have to lovingly tell them. And that's what we have to. Tata Gacchati. Ma Vaishnav, do not fear. So Krishna is assuring the demigods for the Hiranyakashipu's terrorism. And then he is assuring from Sankajuda's demons. And then Krishna is assuring to Arjuna, Tata Gacchati. So these are all the lessons we have to learn from this. So this is very important for us to understand that. So Krishna said, this is a very important lesson. So please encourage the living entities. Don't discourage. Already very few people are there, 14 people. You want to drive away these living entities from Krishna consciousness? This is what our objective is. You do whatever tapas you want to do. You do self-tapas. But don't impose tapas on another. We are not supposed to do it. If you do it, it will backfire. And it will backfire and they'll run away from Krishna consciousness. That's what we should never do. Overdo. Don't do overdo. You do whatever austerity you want to do. That is your problem. You should do. You should do more austerity. Don't try to teach others. This is what we do. We don't do austerity. We tell, please wake up early in the morning, chant Bagavadham and all. I will not read. That is not the way. Please. This is what we have to be very, very careful. And we have to understand this. And we have to develop the attraction for Krishna. Krishna Darshana Lala Sahara. That attraction should come. Therefore, we have to be encouraged, loving devotional service. This is what very important, And then Neiva Yasa. Transcendental reciprocation. Krishna reciprocate very nicely. Transcendental reciprocation. So we have to encourage the living entities. And that is what Atma Bhavana, Bhagavatam says. 4:22:16 says Atma Bhavana. Atma Bhavana means we should encourage the living entities. Please encourage. And that's what we have to do. And we have to tell them the mistakes minutely, very carefully, because we don't have authority to correct. We are not in a position, a super position of Vaishnava to do that. We should encourage. And therefore we should always give encouragement. And that's what our Maharaj did. If Maharaj shouted that you are useless, you are doing nothing and all, no, I would not have done devotional service. Maharaj encouraged. He encouraged my son. Let him recite Bhagavatam. Let him recite Bhagavad Gita. He encouraged my wife. What happened? We went to Krishna consciousness. That's why we survived. We are surviving even today because of his encouragement. If he is not encouraged, we would not be living in Krishna consciousness. We would have left. So this encouragement is so important. Please, Prabhuji. Tata Gacchati. Give assurance. Give them fearlessness. As a devotee, we should do this. And so important, Prabhuji Sumataji. Please, Prabhuji, do you understand the significance of this? How Krishna is giving. Ma Beshti. Please do not fear. I am here to suffer. Do not. 2 times he is telling. He is not saying na. Ma Beshti. Ma means double no. This is very strong word in Sanskrit. We have to understand this point. Okay. Now, Krishna is not emotional. So that's what we have to understand. Okay. Now, I'll tell you the brief past tense. And then what has happened? Sankachuda. And then what has happened? He dropped all the gopis. And then what happened? He started running. He was taking one gopi, Satyananda something. It is in the Garga Samhita. So who is this Garga? Garga Muni. Anybody knows Garga Muni and Sandeepa Muni? Who is Garga Muni? Who is Sandeepa Muni? This is a question.
Sandeepa Muni is Krishna's guru. Sandeepa Muni.
Okay. Very good. Guru means what?
those who take us, show us right path towards devotion towards God.
Okay. Okay. Actually, he was a teacher. Sandeepa Muni was a teacher who was teaching him all the Vedic literatures and all. Okay. Correct. Who is Garga Muni? Very good, Mataji. Nyasha Mataji, very good. Garga Muni, who is Garga Muni?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't remember. I listened that
Okay, no
name, but
problem. Anybody knows? Anybody knows?
Garga Muni was Vasudev's.
No, I'm not able to hear. Two people are speaking. One person, please speak. Unmute and Titu Mataji, please speak.
I think, if I recall, Garga Muni was the priest at Vasudev's place.
Ah, correct. And also, what is main job he did?
He gave the name to
Named
Thakurji.
Krishna and Balram. Yes, super.
Balram.
So, Garga Muni is a Muni who gave the name for Krishna and Balram. And Sandeepa Muni, a person who taught Krishna the Vedic literature. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Please understand, no? Because we will get confused with Garga Muni and Sandeepa Muni. Sandeepa Muni is a teacher, as Mataji said, and he taught them Vedic literatures. But Krishna learnt and learnt because he wants to show that he was also a coward boy. He was also a Kshatriya to learn all the Vedic literature. He learned 64 days, 64 arts. He learned within 64 days. He didn't take much time. So other people took long time. He and Balram finished it very quickly because he knows already. You know, Krishna is Krishna, so he knows all that. So he doesn't have to. It's only for the sake of serving Sandeepa Muni. So Garga Muni, what I was telling, okay, the Garga, it is in the Garga Samhita. Garga Muni has written a Samhita called Garga Samhita. He is talking about the intimate pastimes of Krishna. What is happening in Golok Vrindavan also? Because he was a Dirghadashi. He was able to see Krishna and Krishna has given empowered him to know what are the pastimes happening. So what has happened? This Sankachuda fought, he didn't fight. This last gopi was also dropped by him and then he started running. Balram said, Krishna said to Balram, please protect all the gopis. I'll go and kill this Sankachuda. So he runs after Sankachuda and kills him. The moment Sankachuda is killed, the Sankachuda's body, from the body of an effulgence, goes and merges in the body of Sridama. Usually it merges in the body of Krishna and Balram. Okay. But it merges in the body of Sridama. It was surprising. How it has happened is, what has happened in Golok Vrindavan, in Gokul, what has happened? Krishna has got a lot of consorts. Radharani is the topmost. Radharani, Uhu, Sri, and Viraja. So these were the four main consorts. So what has happened? Krishna was very much attracted to Viraja. So what has happened? One time, he was having a nice pastime, Viraja house. He was going to Viraja's house frequently, and he was having nice pastimes with her. And what has happened? Because of that pastimes, they have produced children also. So he has got 7 children. I will talk about it later. So this is a story. I spoke the philosophy, I spoke the principle, practical relation. Now we'll speak the story also. And this was spoken by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, Radhanath Maharaj disciple. He is an excellent speaker of Bagavadham, especially Vrindavan pastimes. Master of Bagavadham is. So he speaks very nicely. So what has happened? Based on Garga Samhita is there. So Sankachuda, this Viraja was there, and then Krishna went to Viraja and was having nice pastimes and was produced 7 children also. In the meantime, what has happened? This Radharani came to know about it. And then what has happened? Viraja and Krishna said, Sridama, you be the god in Viraja's house, so that Radharani comes, it will be a problem, you know. So Radharani will tear me apart. So you tell me indication, then I will just. So what has happened? At the time, Radharani comes with a beautiful heavenly chariot. She comes with jewels, bedecked with so many jewels. She comes to Viraja's house. She knows Krishna is there. And then argues with Sridama. Sridama also argues. Both of them argue. Sridama says, no. Krishna is a concern of everybody. You should not ask him like that. You should not find fault with him and all. Radharani, I know you are the topmost devotee, but still, you cannot interfere. Because Krishna's discretion, you cannot interfere. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should not question him and you should not find fault with him. All these things you should not do. Radharani, you should not do it. You know him very well. Why you are thinking like that? He is always attracted to you. So what is the problem about? And then the argument was going on. between the gopis. Some gopis also accompanied Radharani and Sri Rama. This commotion, when information went inside Krishna and Viraja. Viraja, what she did, she converted into a river, and Krishna disappeared from the sea. And then that problem is solved for the time being. After some time, what has happened? Again, Krishna came to Viraja's house, and he was having nice fast. And the 7 sons were produced. The 7 sons were produced, and then they were having nicely, and they were having nice pushing. So what has happened? One time, Krishna came to Viraja's house. At the time, what has happened? One of the son of Viraja, Krishna's produced son, youngest son, was fighting with the elder son, and the elder son beat him. So there was a big argument, and then she was trying to pacify both of them and chastise the elder son. While trying to chastise, whatever Krishna has come, so he could not attend to Krishna. She became very angry. How I become neglectful in the devotional service of the Lord. Sometimes we become neglectful. We should not be. And therefore, she became neglectful in the devotional service. She became very angry. Transcendental anger. This we should not seek material anger. She became very angry, and she cursed all the 7 sons to become ocean, impassable ocean. So they become the ocean. And the Bhu Mandala, the 7 oceans are sugarcane, honey, then milk, curd, and then sweet water, and then liquor, and then one more is there. Seven oceans, the Bhu Mandala which is covering. So the 7 oceans they become. And in the meantime, what has happened? Next time, and she asked for forgiveness of Krishna. Krishna said, okay. Then after some time, few days later, again Krishna came to Viraja's house, and they were discussing nicely. And they put Sri Dama as the security in the front of the house. Then Radharani came, and this time she became very, very angry. Last time I came, this Krishna disappeared, and Viraja did like this. And this time, I'm not going to leave you, Sri Dama. What you are doing is not right. Immediately, Sri Ram became very angry. How come? Father is Father, Supreme Father. He is the Father of all of us. From him you have come. You are energy of Krishna. Why you are talking like this? He was arguing. Sri Rama was arguing very, very strongly with Radharani. You should not interfere in the affairs of Krishna and Viraja. It's none of your business. You don't interfere in all these affairs. It's not at all good, befitting for you to interfere in the affairs of Radha and Krishna and Viraja. Please don't interfere. They become big argument. And Radharani became very angry. You are arguing with me. So that means you want to glorify your father and condemn your mother. I am your mother and you are condemning me. I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm giving you a curse. She curses. She curses that you become a demon and go to the Bhu Mandal. And then Sri Rama says, you are condemning me. I'm doing Anbhav of Krishna. I also curse you. You also go to Bhuloka. You will also go and you will have separation from Krishna. That's what is going to happen. Because you are asking for Krishna. You think Krishna is your property. You will also suffer from his separation. And that's why Radharani, the gopis were all going along with Krishna in the Rasa Leela pastimes. What has happened? All the gopis were left. Krishna was carrying Radharani. And Radharani became very proud. And Krishna left her and dropped her in the sand and ran away. And that was the biggest separation. Radharani could not tolerate. And all the gopis trying to pacify Radharani, they were all crying. But Radharani could not. And because of this curse, you will feel separation. You will Viprabla, you will suffer. So Radharani was told by Sridham. So Sridham became Sankachuda. And Sankachuda was killed. And finally he entered in the heart of, that's the reason he entered in the heart of Sridham. That is from the Garga Samhita given by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu of Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Okay. So this is the story of Sankachuda. And the Sankachuda's main represents lusty desires and hankering for sense gratification. Both these things should be avoided. As a devotee, we should not have any lusty desires. And this lusty desires should be cut. And this can be cut by association with pure devotees. And then by engaging our love for Krishna, by engaging in the various devotion service. And how to increase the attachment for Krishna is beautifully described in the Bagavadham, 4th canto, 22nd chapter, 22nd verse. When you have time, you read. How to increase attachment to Krishna is by practicing devotion service with faith and devotion. Beautiful. And then you read the verse, I leave it to you. Inquire questions about Krishna. We should always inquire. So when we have a session, we should have the inquiry to ask about Krishna. And also we have to understand how come Radharani can become angry, how Viraja can become angry. All these questions we can ask. How Sridhama can curse. All this. These are all transcendental. These are all not material. And in fact, Krishna wants these pastimes to happen so that they can come and exhibit the pastimes in material world. For that, they were cursed. So it is not for us to understand the pastimes in the material world. Krishna has to appear, and therefore he has to appear with all Sri Dhamma and all this. And that is the reason. So don't think that these are all material curses, material anger. No, these are all transcendental anger, which is beyond our understanding. Because we cannot understand all these intricate pastimes, because these are all done for a purpose. So therefore, we have to understand that. Okay, that's the point. So apply Bhakti Yoga. We have to apply Bhakti Yoga in our life, and worshipping the Yogeshwara and hearing and chanting. It's very important. Attentive hearing of the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a Vairagya Vidya. Don't neglect Bhagavatam. And then take shelter of Brahma, take shelter of your spiritual master, take shelter of pure devotees. And that's the only way. Hearing and chanting of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord will purify our consciousness. And slowly we can get attachment. And then the Vairagya will give you attachment to Krishna. And then Rati. What's that? Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anantaninitti, Nishta, and then Nishta, then Asakti, then nine steps are there, no? Ashakti, and then I forgot that. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, like that, the 9 process Rupa Goswami says. And then first we will get Bhava and then Prema. Okay, that's how we will get slowly. We'll get into the 9 process of bhakti, which was given. Shraddha is important, association of devotees is important. So we'll get attachment to Krishna. So you're all attachment to Krishna. And very important point is, please encourage the living entities. How Krishna gives fearlessness to the living entities. Ma Baishta. It is a very important, 10:34:28. It's a very important instruction from Krishna that we have to encourage the living entities and do not care and get fear into Krishna. Oh, we have to leave this, we have to leave this, we have to leave this. Automatically they leave. Krishna as a Paramatma will guide them to leave. Don't put the gun on the living entities. That's how we should do and encourage them. Even if they eat non-veg, that person will be eating non-veg for a long time and then he will purify. Krishna will purify. There's one more devotee. His name is Dushta Krishna Prabhu. He was eating non-veg, Marathi guy, Marathi Prabhu from Pune. He was eating non-veg. He was arguing so many times. And then the moment we had the darshan of Maharaj, from that day onwards, he became a vegetarian, completely vegetarian. Darshan pure devotees will purify our consciousness. Now he's a very, very good devotee. He started writing Grantraj. Can you imagine? From where to where? Writing Bagavadham in Grantraj, our mail. It's impossible. So this is because association of pure devotees, association of Bagavadham, association of Bhagavad Gita. It's very important. Okay? Hearing, chanting, we should do with attention. And we have to do without any deceptive motive. Okay? We should do it lovingly. Otherwise, धोखा देंगे कृष्णा को, कृष्णा बड़ा धोखा देंगे. हम तो we सहन नहीं कर पाएंगे, सहन नहीं कर पाएंगे. We will not be able to tolerate. Hare Krishna. Tadvar pranams. Panchakalpatupyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo ananta kori vaishnava ki jai. Sorry for taking extra time. I thought that pastime is also very good. Garga Samhita, I shared that. Hare Krishna. Tadvar pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. And you said so many pastimes also. It was
Thank you,
very
Prabhuji.
nice.
It was really a wonderful class.
Thank you, Mother.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. If any devotee have any question, they can.
Ritu Mataji wants to say. Yes, Mataji. Ritu Mataji, please.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have any question, but just wanted to say that it was a very, very beautiful and knowledgeable class. You share so much of knowledge, and I feel that you have treasure of knowledge,
No, Mataji.
which you are actually sharing with us.
No, nothing, Mataji. These are all my Maharaj. Our Maharaj has given this mercy to me a little bit. I have not tasted fully, maybe one drop. It's an ocean. Our Maharaj mercy was one ocean, but I am not even qualified to take one drop of the ocean. I am still struggling. Please pray for me. Whatever I am speaking, I should put it to practice. Today we discussed, no? But we have to put it to practice. And I am also struggling to put it to practice these principles. Still struggling with that. And please pray for me that I should get attraction for the holy names. I should get attraction for Krishna and really become a devotee of Krishna. Now I am that dhoka de rahe. Dhoka se हमको अच्छा devotee बनना है. Without any
Krishna
deceptive
is
motive.
watching you. Krishna is watching you, and he knows that, you
Definitely
know.
watching me, I know.
Yeah, so
He knows that I'm cheating. He knows that.
no,
Mataji,
you're not cheating.
मेरा
You're
cheating मेरे को अंदर मालूम है ना, आपको नहीं मालूम मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. अपने
Human
अपने के
being,
बता
human being.
मालूम है ना क्या कृष्णा को चीटिंग दे रहे हैं, धोखा दे रहे हैं, नहीं दे रहे हैं, है ना. अपना मन बताएगा ना. और कृष्णा तो परमात्मा अंदर बैठा है ना. उसका पता लग जाएगा, सब कुछ पता लग जाएगा, क्या होने वाला है, क्या हो रहा है अंदर, सब कुछ पता लग जाएगा. Thank you, Mataji, for your encouraging
Thank
words.
you. And
I
just wanted
request
to
you
share.
humbly, please pray for
Yes.
me that I should
Yes.
get real bhakti to Krishna. That's all.
I'll pray. And also, I was able to answer because I am reading Garg Sahita these days,
Oh, very good, Mataji, please. Very good.
and it has all the stories of Thakurji, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, please, please. These are all very confidential stories.
Yeah.
We could read it, Mataji, but what I would suggest, no, because first we have to read Bhagavatam. Please don't mistake me. Garga Samhita can be read because these are all intricate and top confidential pastimes. If you read Garga Samhita without reading Bhagavatam, you may not understand the real meaning. So please read Bhagavatam also
I
simultaneously.
read Bhagavatam twice, and
Very
I am
good.
reading
That's
Gita every day, so it's just, on the side I read
Oh,
Garg
yeah, no
Sahita.
problem. No. You have read Bhagavatam twice, that's very good. Okay.
Yeah.
But you read it again. Daily Bhagavatam you should read also. So
Yes.
daily Bhagavatam also, Nityam Bhagavata Sevya, na? So that also should continue, maybe 2-3 verses
Sure.
a day or something like that. Then it should be good. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. I have not read Garga Samhita, I have heard of it.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. If any don't have any questions, they can unmute their mic or they can write it in the comment box.
Everything is finished, Mataji. I think they were just anybody else.
Yes, Prabhuji, I think there is no questions. Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yes,
What
Mataji.
is
Please.
the importance of Sanskrit verses, Prabhuji?
Mataji, Sanskrit verses, Mataji. What is important is that there is a verse. I will tell you the verse. See, it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam Atmiya. It says that Srimad Bhagavatam Pratyaksha Krishna Evahi means Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means as it is. Krishna Evahi, Krishna only. So every verse in Bhagavatam is Krishna. So it is very important that, and how Krishna is, there is a nice verse, I will tell you. Even if you recite wrongly, it doesn't matter. Okay, I will tell you the verse. 5:18. Okay. 5:18. I think 5:18:26. I think my memory is okay. I think my memory is okay. Okay. And the 5:18:26, the beautiful verse. 5:18:26. Antarbhahischa akilaloka adishta rupo vicharasi vrushvanaha. Vicharasi vrushvanaha. Adishta rupo. Adishta rupo means Krishna is not in the physical, two-handed form, but is wandering. Urushvanaha. Urushvanaha means vicharasi. Vicharasi means wandering. Prabhupada used the word whose sounds every Urushvanaha, very great. You wander. Krishna is wandering in each and every word of Bhagavatam or Vedas, everywhere, any Vedic literatures. So the Sanskrit words must be recited, and that's why Prabhupada translated even the English. In fact, I cannot read the Devagiri Sanskrit. I am a Madrasi because we don't know Hindi also. We are Hindi haters. We make big roko and all. In fact, we strike out all Hindi names in South Indian Tamil Nadu because Tamil, we are so much addicted to Tamil. These people are so much fanatic about Tamil. They strike out all the Hindi names. So I don't know Hindi at all. I didn't study Hindi at all. So, but because Prabhupada has put the English transliteration, yeah, I'm able to read. Because in English I can understand. Antar, Bhagisha, Akilaloka Palake, Antar, who is Antar, Adishta Rupa. Adishta Rupa means not seen. We cannot see it, but he is wandering. So every word, when we recite every Bhagavatam verse, Krishna is there. Krishna and his name is not different. We are saying, no, Nama, Namini, Abhinandva. Means there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name. The moment we chant Krishna's name, Krishna is there. And therefore, when we chant of Bauli Bhagavatam, Krishna is there. And even if you recite wrongly also, no problem. There is a nice verse. Tadvag Visargo Janataka Vishnubo. Yashpin Pratishlokam Abhaddavati. Abhaddavati means 1511 says, even if you tell wrongly also, doesn't matter. Krishna accepts it. Because you are not trying. Honestly, you are trying. He says, Abhaddavati. Namani Anatasha Yashom Kitanyat Shinmanti Gayanti Grananti Sadavaha. 1511. It's a beautiful verse. These two verses you read. 5:18:26 and then 15:11. This 15:11 talks about how to recite. Even if you recite wrongly, doesn't matter. But you try honestly, Krishna will give you. And also we have the how, ha, a, ga, how it should be recited. It is mentioned in the Prabhupada has put word to word. Each and every English word, how to recite, pronounce. Pronunciation is given at the end of Bhagavatam. You can read that. And then slowly you can pick it up. And you pray to Krishna, I want to recite these verses. Just simply reciting these verses is auspicious. Even if you are not able to do anything, every day, just simple verse. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha. I will do one thing. I will send you, you have a personal ID. You send me, you send it to Varun's WhatsApp. My number is this number. I will try to send my wife's recitation. This is my number. Okay. I will try to, if you are interested, my wife is every day, she's sending to about 1,000 people. All people all over India, all over about 400 people are there, 400, 500 people. Every day she is reciting the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. How to recite, how to pronounce, everything my wife is doing. So if you give your name, I will ask her to include the Bhagavad Gita group. You are basically, you want in Hindi or in meaning in English, or what do you want? You tell.
In English.
English, okay. I'll ask her to include your name. You give your number. Give your number. So I will ask her to include your name every day. Okay. Mataji, Gmail name, Mataji. I want your Abu Dhabi US number. US number you give. I will include it in the Ritu Mataji. Can you give me your number? 1 second. No, you want one second. I'll note down. Oh, so many numbers are there. Okay, 1 second. Please give me 2 minutes. I will. Okay. First is 1 second. Mother. I'll note down the number. Nisha 73074 646. This is your WhatsApp number, Mataji, Nesha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, then. Okay, next is Ritu Mataji. This is your WhatsApp number, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
21591. You are in which place, Mataji, in US?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, okay. My son is in San Jose. He's in
okay.
He's working
Wow.
there. He's also initiated. Also, he speaks Bhagavatam also.
Wow.
Me, my wife, my son, all three we will speak Bhagavatam. Okay,
Awesome.
then next is, okay, that's number 9448. Whose number is this, Mataji?
Prabhuji, it's me, Prabhuji, Rakshini.
Rakshini Mataji. Okay, 1 second. So what I will do is, sorry. 1 second. Okay, then next is Rakshini. Okay. Rakshini 94484 164. What I will do is, I will daily one verse will come, meaning translation, and then how to recite the verse. That also she will explain. She will explain very minutely, and I will include your all three: Naisha, Ritu Mataji, Rakshini Mataji. I will include. Anybody else is there?
There's
Manisha
one more.
Mataji.
Manisha. Okay. Manisha name. 1 second. This is India number, no?
Yeah, this is in your sheet.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
1 second.